Welcome back to SuperCoach for 2024. This is the round 5 review. And as you can see, interesting week. 1941, so ranked in the top 15%. Certainly not horrible, but had some pretty interesting scores from some primos, which we'll get to in a second. So my season ranks dropped. So all the gains we made last week have kind of been pulled back a little bit. So I dropped 1,500 spots essentially to 3,784th. So not pleased with that, but there's a fair few reasons why that happened. We'll get into that today. So 7 out of 11 league wins, not too bad. Team value of about 12 million. So we'll head into the side and we'll dissect what happened. Okay, so we had Sheasel, 159. He just gets it done every week. It's just crazy what he does. 628,000 now. Really pleased I picked him up at about 500 at the start of the year. I actually started with him, so I was really happy with him. Stuart, 108. Has lost a little bit of coin. He was a little bit north of 600, but he's now at 575, 600. So dropped a bit of money, but you pick these guys at the start of the year because you think they're going to be keepers, essentially. So it's 108 for him. Dacos obviously didn't play. So I got Houses 62. I had him as the emergency. He's obviously on the bye this week. Hayden Young 114. Again, just gets it done. Pleased that I held on to him. D'Ambrosio 94. Again, scoring pretty well for a rookie price player. And CLOHESY saved the round really. 124. Really pleased I jumped on with him. He's got a ridiculous break even coming into this week's game. So we're looking at at least 100,000 he may make if he puts out another 100. So really happy with him. So obviously Tom Brown 29 on the bench, and Howes 62. So I had Howes to score there. Bontempelli 73. I mean, not good enough for what he can do. I don't know. Bulldogs had a bit of a nightmare on Friday. Not sure why that was, but 664 to Bontempelli. 73. 664,000 he's dropped to now. We got him at just over 700, I think it was. So lost a bit of coin. It is what it is. You pick these guys because you think they're going to be keepers. I'm pretty sure Bont is, but dishing up 73s, it's like, bloody hell. Butters 130, really pleased with that. Petrarca 59, again, those two scores really let me down. Tuke Miller 133 was great. Sharp 54, bit of a drop from last week, but still's making a bit of coin for us. McKercher's 6. Having McKercher's 6 on the field was pretty ordinary. Obviously got subbed for some rib issue, so we'll see what happens with him during the week. Probably the first one to trade once we find out how long he's potentially out for. Jacob Ware 60 and Wilson 61, much of a muchness there. Had Riley Sanders on the bench, luckily enough, because he got subbed, and had him. But didn't need that 46, so that 46 didn't come into the picture at all. Gawn's 138. I took that as the vice captain, which was great. So Grundy was on the bye, unfortunately, so couldn't get that extra. So there's a few problems that have just in terms of looping and things like that. I couldn't use the captain's loophole on other players that were on buys and off buys, things like that. It just didn't sort of work out with all my other looping. So I probably made a bit of an error there, but that's all right. We'll go again next week. Heaney, 638. Obviously, he was on the buy. Really good price. He's made a lot of coin. He's not going anywhere. Flanders, 116 was great. Powell, 98. Really pleased with that. In a pretty ordinary loss against Geelong, still scores 98. Fisher's 84, got to be pleased with that. Harley Reid's 108 as well, just a superstar in the making, that guy. Ollie Dempsey 56, bit of a drop off. But I had Darcy's 82 on the bench as my score and Cadman's 64. Okay, so in terms of what I can do in trades, I think it's time I need to make a couple of trades. I think the rookies have mooed enough. The cash cows have mooed enough. Need to get a bit of coin for them and upgrade. Looking at the back line, looks pretty good. I'm happy with D'Ambrosio and CLOHESY. If you can continue that scoring, I don't think that's all. It's kind of changed now. It was the thing that was pretty. It was my first priority. Really, was the defence, and a lot of players as well. When Gipkiss went down and Reid went down, and Marty Hoare got dropped and all that sort of thing. But I think the defence is looking pretty solid. It's looking okay. Midfielders. Probably could be a chance to upgrade to someone, maybe a Steele. He's probably maybe a bit too expensive now, maybe. whatever you trade him in at now, you're sort of starting at 0. You're not getting the points that he's got, so you don't want to be confident he's a keeper. I'm fairly sure he is. You just want to get him before he's sort of too far out of reach in terms of money, I think, with that one. Nick Martin's another good option. I guess Whitfield in defence if I wanted to do an upgrade. Nick Martin, the DPPs will come out at the end of this round. So Nick Martin will more than likely get dual defender and midfielder. It's almost certain that he'll do that. So yeah, Rucks. I'm pretty happy with Grundy. I mean, I don't want to start. It feels like a bit of a luxury upgrade to me at this point in time. Obviously, next week they'll both be back, and he hasn't lost a lot of money. Hasn't made a lot of money. He's been thereabouts. He hasn't set the world on fire. Having said that, Marshall's a little bit injury prone at times, and English had a shocker on Friday night as well, so I think it's a bit of a luxury upgrade at this point. Forwards, there's really not a lot on the horizon. Potentially Jack McRae, he'll be very cheap. We don't know what his role is. We don't know what his output's going to be, especially with Luke Beveridge. Where's he going to put? He could have Jack McRae at fullback next week. We just don't know, so it's the same thing with Sanders. So the Bulldogs players are probably on notice for that. Not so much Bontempelli, but Sanders I think could be in the trade window as well. More than likely, my first thoughts will be McKercher because of his injury, either one of Wilson or Clark. Probably Wilson because that's 20k more, and maybe Cadman. Probably not Dempsey, I'll hold him for another week, but Cadman, I'll probably use my fourth boost, or the second boost for the year rather. So I'll have 3 left after this. And I'm probably going to go with a midfield upgrade. And I'm probably tossing up between Nick Martin, Jack Steele, or doing Whitfield in defence and throwing Dacos into the middle. It's probably the way to go actually, because that gets me one less rookie defender as well, but it gives me one rookie midfielder off the field. So I've got one more primo midfield, and essentially if I went for Whitfield and moved Dacos to the mids, that's one rookie from the mids off the field. And I've replaced that Dacos who's moving down to the mids with another upgrade to Whitfield. So that's probably what I'll look to do. Give it a bit of a consideration. Got 2 days and 10 hours to think about who I'm going to trade to until the lockout. Haven't really thought about vice captains or captains as yet. I'll give that a bit of consideration over the next couple of days. But yeah, that's pretty much where I'm sitting. Hoping to make a bit of gains back this week, which I lost. Yes, it is best 18 again this week, so maybe that negates the need to trade, full stop, potentially. All depends on prices of players, though. I think if you run the gauntlet of waiting too long to upgrade, you can miss out on players because they just get too expensive. So anyway, that's how I'm sitting at the end of round 5. All right, thanks very much for watching, and talk to you soon.